Alright folks, Damien here. It's Monday, December 6th, I believe. In the Oregon Convention Center, doing some work there today. And I don't know if you can see on my screen, it says 4,897 miles. And the reason why that's significant is because when I bought my new setup, my new computer and all that stuff, I was at 20,000 miles. I figured that was a nice round number. I think I was over 20,000, but I know I was at least 20,000. 4 miles, I'll be at 24,901 miles. It's a milestone that I've been eyeing for quite a while now. Pretty excited about this. Sorry it's nighttime. The funny thing is, I was planning on recording this video, you know, on a nice day, on like a pleasure cruise, doing something I want to do. I guess I don't mind work by any means. But I was going to do something special for it, and I ended up wrecking on my e-bike last week. Like, really bad too. Like I tore my rotator cuff and I was like completely beat up. The right side of my body, I still have like bruises all over. It was kind of frosty in the morning and I just ate it so hard. I went to take a turn and just the bike slipped right out from under me. Just crashed right onto my shoulder. It was nuts. But I'm mostly back into health again. I'm being really careful while I ride because my shoulder's still pretty banged up. If I twist it in the wrong way, it really freaking hurts. So I'm trying to just be careful. But I can ride, luckily, since I had to work today. But yeah, it's been a long road, man. 2019 was such a game changer for me in a lot of ways. A lot of bad things, to be honest, about 2019. I think it's probably the way for everybody. Everybody's kind of over that year. But it's 2020. I actually just bought myself a vintage Trek 520 touring bike because I want to do my next tour on a regular bike, I think. And I was working on my tour video last night, by the way. That is coming. It's finally all the footage is finally there, and I just need to chop out like 3 hours. But it's coming, I promise. So, since you haven't seen any of my other videos before, I did take a short tour, and then I did a long tour all the way down to San Francisco. I've taken 3 tours last year. One small one, one failed attempt because of the motor failure, and then the one where I made it all the way to San Francisco. I think you'll like the video. It was a really interesting trip. I had so much fun. Like, I am totally hooked on touring. Having an e-bike was certainly made the tour, I would say, more enjoyable in a lot of ways because I wasn't having to work nearly as hard. up hills and stuff if I didn't want to. I still tried to put a lot of effort in. But I don't know, I kind of felt like I was missing out on part of touring, and maybe that's just me being dumb, and who knows, maybe I'll end up riding this other bike for a while and just decide that I'm over it, who knows. So yeah, I'm not going to electrify the 520. I'm trying to keep it as original as I can, but I also want to update it to make it to where it's actually, not a pain in the butt to tour it with. So I do want to give it a chance. I'm still going to be riding my e-bike pretty much all the time. It's a commuting monster. That's really what it is. I spent the better part of 6.5 or 7.5 years now. 7 something years. I think in February it'll be 7 years, actually. I'm pretty sure that's when I bought my silver bike, which was like the first bike you saw on this channel if you watched the rest of my videos. And yeah, just been perfecting this design, and I'm really happy with this. Like I said, I made it all the way to San Francisco. I had no mechanical failures whatsoever. It was perfect. I had so much fun. It was really comfortable. I felt steady. It held 4 panniers and a tent really easily. These bikes, people think Trek 820s are, granted they are the cheapest mountain bike you can get, but besides like a real mountain bike, I wouldn't even, I've changed pretty much everything on this. It's not like it's even the same as it was, but all right, 1 mile. 1 mile to the circumference of the earth. Granted, it's taken me 6 years to do it, or 7 years to do it. But I did it. Well, I'm about to. Yeah, it's a big deal, man. I've been so happy with my choice to just commute by electric bike. Everyone's always trying to give me rides places, oh, do you want to ride? Or when I'm leaving work late or something, and oh, sure you're gonna be okay? It's yeah, it's the best part of my day. Every single day, 7 years later, it is still the absolute best part of my day. Yeah, it's my meditation, it's my stress relief. It's my exercise, it's my transportation. I've got maybe, $3,000 into this bike right now. And I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing. And it's funny because people keep asking me, not on the channel, just in regular life, asking me what the name of my bike is. And it's funny because I've always named all of my vehicles, but I've never named this bike. And I'm not sure why. I don't know what to call it. Maybe, I don't know, people can give me some ideas in the comments if you want. Name Damien's bike. This is a really nice park that I made it to. I'm pretty stoked about. Hopefully I can cross it while I'm actually in the park. Big rose garden. Of course it's the middle of winter, so there's no roses. It's been so windy today. There's branches everywhere. There you go. There we go. Here it is, folks. 24,901 miles. Such a long road, but totally worth it. All right. Okay, well, I don't even know what my next milestone would be. I mean, I guess it's 30,000 miles. And you know, don't get me wrong, people. I know that there's plenty of people that have ridden way farther than me and all that fun stuff. Anytime you're like, oh, I did something really neato, and they're like, oh, I did that a million years ago. Good for you. Clap, clap, clap. But I'm doing it just now, so it's been like the slowest 4 miles. Like, this is one of my slowest trips I've ever taken. I feel like I've just been stopping at stoplights this whole time. Yay, I turned green. Hurrah! So, what have I learned? What have I learned in 24,000 miles? I learned that you can tour on an e-bike. I learned that there are many different types of batteries. And if you're commuting every day, then you should probably just find an easy battery like the one I'm using, instead of messing around with LiPo, because that just is such a pain. What else did I learn? I learned that, you know, that eBay kits are great. They still, you know, if you're looking at getting, you know, building an e-bike the cheapest possible way, and you just want to, you know, dabble in it. Maybe you just want something fun to ride around. Then, yeah, eBay kits are the way to go. You know. Super cheap. They totally last. Mine lasted 20,000 miles, and I sold it, and it's still being ridden on. Like my old kit is still being ridden on. But you know, there's something to be said about spending a little bit extra money. If you have the money, then you can save yourself a lot of hassle by, you know, getting a decent kit from, you know, there's lots of different vendors out there. And mine is, I do have a rear hub motor, and it is still my preference. And I made that like hub versus mid-drive a long time ago, by the way. I had some guy like get all up in my freaking face about my thoughts about it. But of course he has a mid-drive, and I think you just, you know, of course you're gonna love whatever you have. That's just how it should be, really. I just thought it was funny, but I don't know. I like both. I still believe that hub motor for commuting and especially bike touring, it's really it's still the best in my opinion. But he made some good points. There's having a low center of gravity, but I mean my battery is up in my triangle anyway, so he's gonna turn and not even see me. Look at that. Good job, bud. But yeah, if you're looking at getting an e-bike, I would still, you know, don't just think about money. Think about what you want, you know. think that's important. I went through a lot of iterations to get to this point, you know, and so I've definitely spent well over $3,000 in the process, and that's kind of why, you know, I started my channel, is because I thought it would be cool to have a resource, you know, specifically targeted around e-bike commuting, you know, daily e-bike commuting, and just kind of take you along on my journey, provide tips and tricks if I can, show you my builds, you know, the reason why I chose certain things. Just like building computers, you know, you see what somebody else does and see what works, and you see why they chose those things, and then, you know, you kind of just do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If it works, don't break it. Right? That's sort of how it goes. Not quite right, but yeah, I couldn't be happier with the setup now. Like, would I choose a mid-drive if I were to go back and change? No, I wouldn't. I would choose the exact same setup I have now. If I had, you know, my choice of any componentry, there's really, I don't think I would change anything. I mean, yeah, I could go crazy and put, like, you know, a 60 amp controller and make it even faster and more torquey, and, you know, this 9-continent motor that failed on me actually had more torque than this, and I actually had to dial it back. I changed what's called the uprate, so it actually would have less torque off the start, right? And I ended up actually really liking that. And even though that this motor has less torque than the other one, I kept the same tune, if you will, right? There is one thing I've thought about changing, or not changing, but it's actually adding, and I haven't decided whether or not it's a good idea or not. I don't know if you can hear me, and I'm sorry, there's lots of traffic. It's like rush hour, or the end of rush hour. I'll be off this this main road here in a second. So the one thing I'd change or add is I would probably add some sort of torque sensor, like torque sensing bottom bracket maybe, because my bike, or a potentiometer to be able to adjust the amount of power my bike has. Like, I noticed on my tour that I was pretty much always below 500 watts, and my bike is I mean, you know, it's around 1800 watts or so, and that I can still push like 1700 watts if I want to, like, with my battery being about half full as it is right now. But so the reason why I'm saying that is because I have so much power, it was hard for me to go really slow, to not use too much juice, like, starting off. Like, I wasn't, I mean, I was staying in the same gear. I wasn't, like, I was downshifting when I was going up hills and stuff, but it wasn't like I was, like, super downshifting or anything like that, you know? Like, I was still going up hills at like 11 to 13 miles an hour. So, yeah, I'd like to be able to somehow, like, either limit power or be able to use just my, like, torque sensing to add power. So I wouldn't have to be fiddling with, you know, finding the sweet spot in the throttle. because I have auto cruise on my bike. So what I was doing is I basically I knew what gear I was going to be in each situation. And then I would just find like a sweet spot, you know, to where if I was cruising along flat ground, you know, going like 15 to 17 miles an hour maybe, and then I'd be able to pedal going that fast and having the throttle be at a certain position, and I wouldn't really touch it. I wouldn't even have to really touch it, because then when I encountered a hill, I would just drop down a gear, but I wasn't really, you know, it doesn't hold a certain power output. It changes based on if I'm adding juice, right? If I'm adding power, like, you can see the wattage from the motor drop down. And when I'm climbing a hill, you can see the motor power watts go up, right? So it's not like it just holds 400 watts or whatever it is. So as of January 1st, they have I guess they call it a California stop. Right, no, they call it an Idaho stop here, that's right. They call it an Idaho stop here, but I'm actually from Idaho, and we used to call it a California stop. It's basically where you can roll through the stop sign. So as of January 1st, they made it to where bicycles can, you know, basically yield at stop signs and flashing red lights, which is awesome. And potentially, you know, there's going to be plenty of people that are, you know, going to be like idiots and do it unsafely. But for the most part, you know, especially if you're riding a regular bike, it makes it way easier to not have to stop, and then, you know, it's like you have to get your momentum back up and everything. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I'll be wrapping this up because I'm gonna head to the store and then go to my house. But passed 24,901. Super happy about that. If you're looking into building or buying an e-bike, do it, because they're seriously the most fun. They're the best commuting vehicles out there right now. Like, it's windy and raining today, and I'm totally waterproof. I'm actually wearing heated gloves. They're not on right now, but they are heated, and that's really been a game changer. Like, that was really the only thing that I got when it was, you know, cold. I think part of learning e-bikes is realizing that you can't really dress like you would ride a bike, because you're not really using your muscles as much, so you're not heating your body temperature up. But yeah, if you're looking into getting into e-bike commuting, you know, the time is now. While not everybody and their dog is on e-bikes. I mean, it's already gotten a lot more people on electric bikes so far. I mean, people are trying to race them all the time. It's really funny, because, I mean, they can't win. But, I'm not saying my bike's the fastest in town by any means, but it's certainly the fastest that I've seen. And yeah, you know, the bike lanes are still open, and when you're on an electric bike, you can pretty much just pass everyone. So it's not like you're sitting in traffic either. You know, things that annoy me now are, I hate rivers of cars. I hate having to wait for like 20 cars to go by, and just like traffic in general. I've gotten so just blind to it. Like, anytime I have to sit in traffic for even a minute, like, I'm so impatient now, because I just never have to deal with it ever. And I can stop when I want to. I have my own road. There's just so many reasons why bikes and e-bikes in general are just such a great idea. And like I said, it's like the best parts of my day. It literally transformed my life. Like, you know, if you hate traffic and, you know, you're commuting and you're sitting in your car for you know, 45 minutes each way or something like that. You know, during rush hour, like, my bike is basically as fast as a car. So you get some fresh air, you get some exercise, you get to see your city from a completely different perspective. Yeah, highly recommended. So there we go, guys. Here's my video. I'll try to cut this up tonight and continue working on my tour videos. So I'll have that up as fast as I can, but I'll get this up. I know it's been a while since I posted. I'm sorry. I had plenty of time over the Christmas break and I just didn't take it. I was just being lazy and relaxing and stuff. So, and then I hurt myself. Right when I got like motivation back, I freaking hurt myself. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. So, thanks for watching. Bye. Alright everyone, so I'm making this first video of a series, and this is going to be just going over my e-bike experience, and this is what I have so far. So, alright guys, so here's my newest update. This is e-bike vlog number 3. So last time you saw, I was using the 4 6S 5000 milliamp batteries. And since then, I've added these 2S packs to overvolt the motor a little bit, and it gives me about 57 volts total. Alright, so I decided to do a different approach to this video. I rode out to Hoyt Arboretum. It's a cool old growth forest out here in Portland. So this is probably going to be kind of loud because I'm up here on this bridge, but I wanted to show part of my ride today. I'm doing a range test because I just added another 5,000 milliamps. What's up, guys? Damien again. This is going to be my 7,500 mile update. My current setup. So during the time lapse of me riding up to the spot where I do my 10,000 mile update, I figured I would impart some words of wisdom. I would like to say that etiquette is the most important thing when going into e-bike commuting. Howdy everyone, Damien here. So it is like the first week of July, and you'll notice that this video is going to jump around a lot. This has basically been a 4-month process of me converting, testing my current e-bike setup. And so you'll see I have a beard at first, and then later I'm going to be clean-shaven-ish like I am now. And I've been trying to just record as much of this process as possible. I'm way past 20,000 miles. I'm close to 22,000 miles at this point, but I wanted to at least show you what has taken me 20,000 miles, the decision path that I made to upgrade my bike in steps, and what things that might be of benefit to upgrade right away, or if you just want to go and build a bike based on a kit that's a little bit better than what you'd find on eBay. However, just keep in mind this entire 20,000 miles was ridden on an eBay kit purchased for $200 and a different amount of battery systems that I went through over the course of the last 5 years. Okay. What's up, everybody? Damien here. I'm just leaving Tillamook, Oregon right now. It's about 10 to 7. And so I'm headed to Cape Lookout State Park. This place is really weird. If you can see some of it, I'm gonna get off and take some video. All right, made it to Lincoln City. So the Chinook Winds Casino where the bus dropped me off. And yeah, got my bike all situated. Let's see, show it. There we go. Bike's all situated and packed. And yeah, been on the bus. Went from Tillamook or Portland to Tillamook, and then Tillamook to Lincoln City. All right, so I made it to Tugman Hiker Biker. There's my stuff all laid out. I'm gonna actually good morning. So I'm about packed up. Got my bike situated. I'm just letting my phone charge once I plug it back in for a sec. Jack and Jane.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to cycle down to San Francisco, and then we're going to part from our bikes. We're going to probably sell them because then take them back to, we're going to go to Florida and then we go back to Europe, and it's going to cost them money to obviously ship them. So
Right.
we're happy with them, but we'd be sad to lose them. But they've done their job, more than their job. So that's the way it is.
About to Fort Bragg. Decided to record this pretty sweet tree tunnel. That's right.